The night air in Abuja carried a mix of perfume, exhaust, and distant laughter from the city's lounges. Tara adjusted her gold bracelet nervously as she stepped out of the bold ride in front of Bistro 22. It was her best friend Mimi's birthday, and she wasn't in the mood for celebration, not after how her last relationship ended 2 months ago. He had promised forever. Instead, he left her with unanswered calls and a heavy heart. Inside the restaurant, laughter echoed around tables filled with young professionals. Tara smiled faintly, waved at Mimi, and joined her friends. Just as she sat, her eyes caught a man at the far corner, tall, dressed in a dark blue suit, quietly sipping from a glass of red wine. Their eyes met. For a second, everything else blurred. The lights, the noise, even Mimi's loud laughter. He smiled slightly and looked away. But when she looked again, he was gone. Later that night, as Tara waited outside for her ride, a black Mercedes stopped beside her. The window rolled down. It was him. "Excuse me," he said in a calm, deep voice. "You dropped this." He handed her a small silver earring, one she hadn't even noticed was missing. "Thank you," she replied softly. "Abuja's not always this kind," he said with a small smile. "I'm Michael." Tara. They exchanged numbers, not because she wanted to, but because something about him felt different. That night, she couldn't sleep. There was something about the way he looked at her, like he saw through the walls she had built. But love, she had promised herself, was off the table. Only the city had other plans. Because in the weeks that followed, Michael wasn't just a stranger anymore. He became her morning coffee, her late-night call, her peace in the chaos of Abuja. But beneath the charm, Michael hid something that could shatter the fragile world they were building together. 2 weeks had passed since Tara met Michael. In a city where love was often disguised as luxury, he felt different, calm, grounded, and surprisingly real. He didn't drive her around in his Mercedes to show off. He always said, "Abuja's roads are for thinking." He took her to quiet cafes in Matama instead of loud clubs. And sometimes they just sat by Jobby Lake, watching the water reflect the city lights. For the first time in a long while, Tara laughed without pretending. Her friends noticed. Mimi teased her endlessly, so Madam Heartbreak has found her rebound. But deep inside, Tara knew this was more than a rebound. Michael had become the missing calm she never thought she'd find again. Yet, there were cracks she couldn't ignore. Sometimes, in the middle of a conversation, he would drift away, eyes distant, smile fading. Once, she caught him talking on the phone in hushed tones, his voice trembling. Another time, he abruptly cancelled a dinner, saying he had to handle something urgent. Tara didn't ask questions, love had made her patient. But something about his mystery began to itch at her heart. One evening, after work, she decided to surprise him. He had mentioned he stayed somewhere around Kotompi Extension. When she arrived at the gate, the security man looked confused. "Madam, nobody by that name lives here." Her heart skipped. She showed him Michael's picture. The man squinted and said quietly, "Oh, madam, this man where you day find, he day come here before, but not as a tenant. He day work for one ogre before dem move out." Tara froze. Work for someone else? That night, she waited for Michael's call. When he finally called, she said nothing, just listened to his voice. Soft and charming as always. "Are you okay?" he asked. "Yes," she lied. "Good, I've missed you," he said, and she felt her heart betray her again. But as she hung up, one thought haunted her. Who exactly is Michael, and what else has he lied about? Because what she didn't know was that Michael wasn't who he claimed to be. And before the month ended, the truth about his past would not only destroy the peace she found, but drag her into a danger she never saw coming. It was a Friday evening, and the Abuja skyline shimmered under the fading sunset. Tara sat in her living room, absent-mindedly stirring her cup of tea as her mind replayed everything about Michael, his smiles, his silence, his half-truths. Her phone buzzed. It was a text from an unknown number. "You don't know who you're with. Stay away from Michael before it's too late." Her hand trembled. She read it again. Who could send that? A jealous ex? Or someone from his mysterious past? Moments later, her doorbell rang. When she opened it, Michael stood there, flowers in one hand, worrying in his eyes. "You look pale," he said softly. "Are you okay?" She wanted to tell him about the message, but something stopped her. Instead, she forced a smile. "I'm fine. Just tired." They sat together in silence for a while, the tension almost tangible. Then Michael reached for her hand. "Tara, there's something I need to tell you," he said quietly. Her heart raced. He hesitated, then looked away. "I used to work for a man who owns a security firm here in Abuja," he began. "Things went wrong. Money disappeared, and I was blamed. I left everything behind to start over." She stared at him. "Are you saying you ran away?" "I'm saying I was set up," he replied, his voice shaking slightly. "And now they've found me." Before Tara could speak, his phone buzzed again. He glanced at it, and his face turned pale. "We have to go," he whispered. Now, they rushed out, and as they got into his car, a black SUV appeared from the corner. Michael's grip tightened on the wheel as the SUV followed. "Who are they?" Tara asked, panic rising in her chest. "The people who want what I never took," he said, "and they won't stop until they get it." The car sped through the streets of Wuse, the city lights blurring into streaks of gold and red. Tara could barely breathe. Her mind was spinning. The man she loved was not just hiding secrets. He was running for his life. When they finally stopped near a quiet street in Garki, Michael turned to her. "I'm sorry, Tara, you shouldn't be involved in this," he said. His eyes filled with guilt. Tears welled up in her eyes. "It's too late for that, Michael. I already am." And as they sat in the dark silence of the night, a shadow moved behind the car. Someone had followed them. The night breeze carried the scent of rain and fear. Tara's heartbeat drummed in her chest as she turned to Michael. "Someone's out there," she whispered. Michael looked around, scanning the dark street. A figure moved in the shadows, tall, confident, and silent. Then came the familiar click of a gun being loaded. "Tara, stay down," Michael shouted. Two shots shattered the silence. Tara screamed, ducking under the dashboard. When she looked up, Michael was on the ground, not bleeding, but holding a gun of his own. The attacker fled into the darkness. "Let's go," he said breathlessly, grabbing Tara's hand. They ran through the narrow back streets of Garki until they reached a small, old building, a safe house he once used. Inside, under the dim light, Michael finally spoke. "Tara, I never told you everything. The truth could destroy both of us." She looked at him, tears threatening to spill. "Then tell me. I deserve to know who I've been loving." He took a deep breath. 3 years ago, I worked as an accountant for Apex Global Security. My boss, Chief Ocone, was laundering money through fake contracts. When I discovered it, I tried to expose him. But before I could, he flipped the story, said I stole for 150 million. Tara gasped. "They issued a warrant, so I disappeared. I thought I could rebuild my life quietly. Until now," she whispered. "Until now," he nodded. Someone must have told him I was back. Tara sat silently, processing everything. The man she loved was not a criminal, he was a scapegoat. Finally, she reached for his hand. "Michael, if you didn't do it, then we'll prove it, together." He stared at her in disbelief. "Tara, you don't know what you're saying. These people are powerful, dangerous." "I don't care," she said firmly. "You didn't run from love, did you?" Then stop running from your truth. Outside, thunder rumbled across the Abuja sky. But inside that small safe house, amidst fear and uncertainty, two hearts found courage. Michael pulled her close. If I lose everything again, at least I'll know what real love feels like, he whispered. And in that moment, as lightning flashed outside, Tara kissed him, sealing a promise neither of them could break. Abuja was awake before dawn. The hum of traffic, the distant sound of sirens, the city pretending to forget the secrets it held. But in a small, hidden apartment in Area 10, Tara and Michael weren't sleeping. Michael sat at the edge of the bed, staring at his laptop. Tara sat close to him, wearing one of his shirts, her hair messy from the long night. "Are you sure about this?" she asked. He nodded. "I backed up some files from the company's server before everything went bad. If I can recover them, it'll prove that Chief Okone created those fake contracts, not me." Tara leaned over his shoulder. "Then let's do it together." He smiled faintly. "You should have been a lawyer, not an HR officer." She laughed softly. "Or maybe I just fell for a man who needs one." After hours of work, the screen flickered, and suddenly, folders appeared. Invoices, bank statements, secret transfers, all traced to Chief Okone's private accounts. Michael's hands trembled. This is it. The proof. But before they could celebrate, a message popped up on his phone. "Unknown, you shouldn't have opened that file, Michael. We're closer than you think." Tara's smile vanished. "They're watching you." "They've been watching me," he said grimly, "which means they might know about you now." He grabbed his car keys. "We have to move. We'll meet my old friend at Gorimpa. He can help get this data to someone safe." The drive was tense and silent. Rain began to fall, heavy, relentless, as if the city itself wanted to hide their path. Halfway through, a black SUV appeared behind them again. Michael's jaw tightened. "Hold on." The chase began. Through puddled streets and flashing headlights, Tara clung to the seat, praying under her breath. When they finally swerved into a narrow alley, the SUV followed, but suddenly, another car blocked the path, a dark Lexus. From it stepped Chief Okone himself, flanked by two armed men. Michael froze. Tara's heart pounded. "Well," Okone said with a cruel smile, "the prodigal son finally shows his face." Michael clenched his fists. "You framed me. You ruined my life." Okone laughed coldly. "You were too smart for your own good. But now I need that flash drive, and the girl can walk away free." Tara's voice broke the silence. "You'll never touch him." Okone's smile faded. "Then you'll both disappear." As his men raised their guns, Michael grabbed Tara's hand, and in that split second, the city's lights went out. Darkness, gunshots, screams. When the power returned, the alley was empty, except for a single flash drive lying in the rain. Rain poured harder, washing away blood and footprints, leaving only chaos behind. Michael woke up on the wet ground, pain shooting through his arm. "Tara," he croaked. No response. His eyes darted around. Her handbag lay torn beside a shattered phone. But she was gone. Panic gripped him. He knew exactly who had taken her. Chief Okone never left loose ends. Michael staggered to his feet, grabbed the fallen flash drive, and whispered, "Hold on, Tara, I'm coming for you." Hours later, Tara opened her eyes to darkness. Her wrists were tied, her head pounding. She could smell damp concrete and oil. A warehouse. Maybe on the outskirts of the city. Then came the familiar voice, smooth, arrogant, and cold. "Miss Tara," Okone said, stepping into the light. "You're beautiful, brave, and unfortunately, a problem." Tara glared at him. "You won't get away with this." He smiled faintly. "Oh, I already have. But if your lover gives me that flash drive, maybe I'll let you live." She spat at his shoes. "You'll never have it." Okone chuckled. "I admire loyalty. Shame it'll get you killed." Meanwhile, Michael was back in the city, meeting with his old friend, Chuka, a former IT officer from Apex Global. "I need your help," he said. Chuka frowned. "Mike, you're playing with fire. Okone runs with people even the police fear." Michael slammed the flash drive on the table. He took Tara. "If I don't act now, she's dead." Chuka stared at him, then sighed. "All right, let's burn him the right way." They uploaded the incriminating files, every fake contract, every secret transaction, to multiple journalists and whistleblower networks. Within minutes, the news began spreading online. Business tycoon Chief Okone linked to massive corruption scandal. Now, Michael had one thing left to do: save Tara. At 8 a.m., he arrived at the warehouse. Rain still fell, soaking his clothes, but he didn't care. Inside, he could hear voices. 2 guards, 1 back entrance, 1 way out. He slipped through the shadows like a ghost, silencing the first guard with a quick blow, then the second. When he reached the main hall, Tara was tied to a chair, Okone standing in front of her, gun in hand, shouting at his men to find the flash drive. Michael stepped out. "You're looking for this," he said, holding it up. Okone froze. "Let her go, and maybe you'll see tomorrow." Okone laughed bitterly. "You think one little file can stop me?" "No," Michael said calmly, "but the internet already did." He threw the flash drive at Okone's feet. "You're finished." Okone's phone buzzed, hundreds of notifications. His face paled as he saw his empire collapsing in real time. Furious, he raised the gun. But before he could pull the trigger, one of his own men shouted, "Police, they're here." Chaos erupted. Michael rushed to Tara and tied her, and they ran as sirens and flashing lights filled the night. Outside, as they hid behind a truck, Tara clung to him, tears mixing with the rain. "I thought I'd never see you again," she whispered. "You'll never lose me," he replied, holding her tight. "Not in this life." Hours later, as dawn broke over Abuja, Chief Okone was arrested. The story made headlines. Michael's name was cleared, and as Tara rested her head on his shoulder, watching the sun rise over the city, she smiled faintly. "What now?" she asked. Michael smiled back. "Now we start living, not hiding." 3 months had passed since that stormy night, the night their lives changed forever. Abuja was glowing again, peaceful and vibrant. Michael and Tara had moved into a quiet apartment in Gwarinpa, away from the noise, away from the memories. The mornings were slower now. Coffee together, soft music, laughter echoing through their new home. For once, love didn't come with fear. Michael found work again, this time with an environmental tech firm. Tara, now promoted at her company, often teased, "So, Mr. Honest Accountant, when are you going to marry me?" He'd smile and reply, "Soon. Miss HR Queen, I just want the world to see me right before I make you my forever." One Saturday evening, they attended Mimi's engagement party in Joby. The air was full of music, flashing lights, and joy. As they danced, Tara whispered, "It feels good to breathe again." Michael nodded, "It feels good to love again." For a moment, everything was perfect, until he noticed a face in the crowd, one that made his blood run cold. A man in a black suit, standing by the gate, staring directly at him. Michael blinked, but the man didn't move. He just gave a small nod and disappeared into the night. Later that night, as they drove home, Tara noticed his silence. "Talk to me," she said softly. "What's wrong?" Michael hesitated. "I saw someone I used to know." "From Apex?" she asked. He nodded. "Someone who shouldn't still be around." Tara frowned. "You think it's connected to Okone?" "I don't know," he said quietly. "But if it is, it means this isn't over." 2 days later, Michael received an email. No subject line, no sender name, just one attachment, a video. He clicked it. The footage showed a dimly lit room, and Chief Okon in handcuffs, being led into a police van. Then a voice spoke from off-camera, calm and menacing. "You think the game ended with Okon? You were just the beginning, Michael." The video ended abruptly. Tara found him staring at the screen, pale and shaken. "Michael, what is it?" she asked. He looked at her with fear in his eyes, the kind she hadn't seen since that night in the rain. "Tara," he whispered, "whoever this is, they know where we are." That night, as the city slept, a shadow moved past their window, watching, waiting, and just like that, the love that had found peace was about to face the fire again. Abuja's skyline glittered like a promise that night, but promises, Tara had learned, could shatter quietly. She woke to find Michael sitting by the window, shirtless, the glow of his laptop casting long shadows on his face. He hadn't slept, still thinking about that video. She asked softly. He turned to her, his eyes tired. "I traced the IP. It came from inside Abuja, Garki area, same neighborhood where Okon's company used to operate." Tara frowned. "But Okon's in prison. Who could be behind this?" Michael sighed. "Someone bigger. Someone who wanted Okon gone, and me blamed again." He looked at her then, really looked, his voice breaking. "Tara, I'm scared. Not for me. For you." She walked over and touched his face. "Michael," she said gently, "love isn't about peace. It's about standing when the storm comes." He smiled faintly. "You and your poetic heart." The next day, Michael went to meet Chuka at a cafe in Matama. Chuka slid a file across the table. "You were right. Someone new is pulling strings now," a man called Mr. Adisa. "He owns part of Apex Global quietly. Okon was just a cover." Michael flipped through the file, offshore accounts, false IDs, shell companies. This man is using Apex to fund private security contracts across Africa. Chuka continued. "And the same people who attacked you before, he owns them." Michael felt his chest tighten. "So Okon was only a pawn." "Exactly. And now, you're the only one who can expose Adis's network." That night, Tara waited anxiously at home. When Michael finally returned, his shirt was stained from rain, his eyes cold and determined. "We're not running anymore," he said. "We're finishing this." "How?" Tara asked. "By making the truth public again." She nodded, fear in her heart but pride in her eyes. The next evening, as they prepared to upload Adissa's data, the lights in their apartment flickered. Then bang! The door burst open. 3 men in black stormed in. "Michael!" Tara screamed. He pushed her behind the couch as the men shouted, "Where's the drive?" Michael fought back, desperate, but one of the men struck him hard. Tara grabbed a lamp and swung it at another, shattering it across his shoulder. Then, suddenly, silence. The men withdrew as quickly as they came, leaving behind one chilling message written on the wall in spray paint. "You were warned." Blood dripped from Michael's lip as he looked at Tara. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I shouldn't have brought this to you." Tara held him tightly, tears in her eyes. "You brought me love, Michael. I'll never regret that." He looked at her with trembling hands, brushing her cheek. "No matter what happens, promise me you'll live, even if I don't make it." Tara's voice broke. "Don't say that. We live or die together." Outside, thunder rolled once again, and deep in the city's shadows, a black SUV waited, watching their apartment from afar. Rain hammered against the window as dawn broke over Abuja. Tara sat beside Michael on the couch, his arm wrapped in bandages. Both of them silent, exhausted but unbroken. They knew this couldn't continue. The warning on the wall wasn't just a threat, it was a countdown. Michael looked at her. "If we don't act now, they'll keep coming." Tara nodded, her eyes fierce. Then let's end it, once and for all. Later that day, they met with Chuka again in a quiet car park near Area 11. He handed Michael a small device. It's a live data transmitter. Once you plug it in, every journalist in Nigeria will get the files on Odysseus' network. It can't be stopped. Michael took it, his heart pounding. And the risk? Chuka sighed. Once it's on, they'll come for you within minutes. Michael smiled faintly. Then we better make it quick. Tara grabbed his hand. We do this together. That night, under the golden glow of streetlights, they drove to Apex Global's old office, now abandoned but still under surveillance. Michael connected his laptop, inserted the drive, and began the upload. 1%, 15%, 37%. Suddenly, the building lights flickered. They weren't alone. Mr. Adisa stepped from the shadows, impeccably dressed, his calm voice echoing through the empty hall. I warned you, Michael. You could have lived quietly, but you chose noise. Michael didn't stop typing. The truth deserves to make noise. Odysseus' men drew their guns. Tara gasped but didn't move away. Michael, she whispered, finish it. He nodded, his fingers trembling over the keys. 85%, 93%. Odysseus' voice hardened. You're done. He raised his gun, and a shot rang out. Tara screamed as Michael fell to his knees. But even as blood spread across his shirt, he pressed one final key. Upload complete. The building's monitors lit up, data flooding the internet. Newsrooms and law enforcement systems. Odysseus' entire empire exposed. Sirens wailed in the distance. Police, journalists, chaos closing in. Odysseus fled, his men scattering like shadows. Tara crawled to Michael, tears streaming down her face. You did it, she sobbed. You saved everything. He smiled weakly. No, we did. His hand brushed her cheek. Tara, promise me you'll keep living. Beneath the lights. She held his face. No, Michael, you stay. You promised me tomorrow. But his eyes closed slowly, his last breath warm against her skin. 3 weeks later, the city buzzed with headlines. Corruption ring dismantled. Hero accountant clears his name in death. Chief Adisa arrested. Apex Global seized. Tara stood by Jobby Lake, watching the water reflect the sunset, the same place they once dreamed together. She wore his bracelet on her wrist. Beneath these lights, she whispered, you'll always live. And for the first time, she smiled, not in sadness, but in strength. Months later, a foundation was launched in his name, the Michael Foundation for Truth and Justice. Tara led it, dedicating her life to helping those framed and silenced by corruption. And though love had left her with scars, it had also given her purpose. Because in the city that never stopped shining, their story would forever live, beneath the city lights.